Welcome back. What's Left podcast. John here, Jake, Brad. We are the punk rock garage band of podcasts, adding our voice to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. That's you guys. Thanks for liking, subscribing, for following us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. If you're not doing it, why not? Everybody else is. Get it done. Guys, we're gonna get to our turds of the week. We're gonna get to some funny videos. But before we do that, you can also check us out on Substack for a paid subscription if you'd like. You can buy a t-shirt at derealizationnation.com, but just know that all of our content is and always will be free, despite the fact that we have no sponsors and no payment from fucking, I don't know, parties, Russia, nobody. Nobody paying these bills but us.
Definitely not Starbucks.
Definitely not Starbucks. All right. Guys, it's tough to keep up with the news, a lot of stuff going on all the time. It's a regular fire hose sometimes, just the amount of shit that comes down the pipe. And occasionally some things can get lost. And so what we like to do is every now and again sift through the shit and find a turd, a turd worth talking about. It's a little segment we like to call.
It's time for Punch
People have to flush their toilet 15
in the Turd Bowl.
times. Toilets.
All right, let's get to it, guys. We are for the first time going to somebody left one in the comments, so I'm gonna take it piecemeal. But real quickly, one of the things that they brought up is this new social media regulation. It is about allegedly protecting kids online for their social medias. But in reality, it's First Amendment censorship. Statements from the ACLU, and this is their statement. COSA won't make kids more safe. Instead, it'll put youth in danger by preventing them from accessing resources they need. Concern about young people's harm from big tech are valid and real, but enabling censorship that harms the most marginalized kids is not the answer. Lawmakers concerned about the online safety actually reject COSA. Instead, work to protect all internet users from abusive tech companies by passing a federal data privacy law and measures that do not threaten online communities that queer and trans youth depend on. Also, women, abortion, that sort of thing. The bipartisan Kids Online Safety Act is supported by over half the U.S. Senate, provides young people and parents with the tools, safeguards, and transparency they need to protect against online harms. It requires social media platforms to put the well-being of children first by providing an environment that is safe by default. Um, I think this is one of the dumber things. It gives parents new controls to help protect their children and spot harmful behaviors, provides parents and educated with a dedicated channel to report harmful behavior. Now, every parent has different ideas and is entitled to different ideas of what their kids should learn and when. It is not the fucking business of anybody else. Okay. This is like saying this is the same as it's book bans. Okay. That's what this is. This is the same as like banning books. Okay. These are resources that should just be available for people to have. Okay. They are not on their face. They're not forcing you to know or learn anything. Okay. So, uh, this idea that like parents need these extra protections. Besides, we all know we've all been kids. Kids know better than their parents. They're going to outsmart you on parental controls every goddamn time. That is never going to work. Okay, never going to work. Give us a new slide, Jake. Get what on. We got all kinds of shit. But it creates a duty. This is the pro side of the argument, by the way. A duty for online platforms to prevent and mitigate specific dangers to minors, including promotion of suicide, eating disorders, substance abuse, sexual exploitations, and advertisement for certain illegal products, e.g., alcohol and tobacco. Nothing particularly wrong on its face about that, but when you ban all talk of these things, you also prevent positive talk about these things. For instance, like just think about like how annoying it is to have to say pew pew on TikTok. It changes nothing. Everybody knows what the fuck you mean, right?
Unalived.
the big one.
unalive. Yeah. It doesn't make a difference. And if you're having it, it prevents not just poor conversation, but also substantive conversation, right? Now
Right.
there
Everybody knows what I mean when I say Donald Trump is a grapist.
exactly. Nobody is confused about his relationship with rapes. That's not nobody's confused by that. So this is, and again, so requiring independent audits and research into how these platforms impact the well-being of kids and teens. So there it is, toothless, right? These companies already do research. Facebook knows that its algorithm has been harming people since 2017. They have had this research. They know this research. They don't need to audit anything. They know exactly what it is, but it's targeted advertising. Selling your data is big business. That's what this is about. And so there is no fucking punishment for these companies. This is in reality turning and putting the blame back on parents as well. Like this is not holding tech companies accountable. This is blaming parents or giving parents the freedom uh to, I don't know, Karen out over what their kids see online. So it really is just useless nonsense. But it's I continue because you have to keep watching this stuff because this administration keeps trying to limit First Amendment rights because free speech is bad for them. Education is bad for them. So the information, the education um, that gets out there, the reason it's not a trans ideology, but if kids get to follow a trans influencer and realize the person is just normal and happy and well adjusted, that's counterintuitive to what they're trying to teach their kids. That person is deranged, psychopath who, uh, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is that they're talking about this week. I don't really follow Fox News all that closely. I do know they spend a lot of time on it. Um, but yeah, so I think that was definitely well worth bringing up, and I'm going to continue to bring some stuff up like that because there are tons of little bills in Congress that they keep doing this shit under the guise of like things that you can get behind. But what really needs to happen is they need to stop uh, predatory algorithms for everybody, stop the data collection and selling, and crack down on actual tech companies and allow them to be sued for uh, what the issues they cause online. And that will change everything. That's what you really need. If they could be sued for promoting suicide, then you change things. But as it stands right now, because they don't take credit for anything that's on their platforms, they can get away with anything.
Yep.
So
Everything's third party. They take no responsibility for anything that happens on their platform.
no, but they sure do make a hell of a lot of goddamn money off it, don't they? You know, they haven't written one article, but every
Billions.
publication has put money into Facebook. It's unbelievable what we let happen. All right, got to keep them short because we got four. Uh, well, keep that one short. I don't know how we're gonna keep any of these short. All right, we're gonna try though. Jake, since that one kind of touches trans kids and the queer community, why don't we tie these two turds together in a way?
Sure, of course. So mine is the Trump administration unveiled new actions aimed at eliminating transitions related medical care for minors across the U.S. on Thursday, referring to such treatments as sex rejecting procedures, a term used by the Department of Health and Human Services. As part of the effort, the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services will initiate a rule-making process that would prevent hospitals from offering puberty blockers, hormones, treatments, or surgical procedures to minors if they wish to participate in Medicare or Medicaid. The proposal would also prohibit Medicare funds from being used to cover this type of care. Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP, together cover nearly half of all American children. Under my leadership and answering President Trump's call to action, the federal government will do everything in its power to stop unsafe, irreversible practices that put our children at risk. That's RFK Jr., the U.S. Health Secretary. And he said in the statement, the administration will protect America's most vulnerable. Our children deserve better, and we are delivering on that promise. What do you think about them protecting our children? Do you guys have comments on that?
Yeah. Okay. Seriously, the idea that they are protecting our children, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
in the wake of all these school shootings is preposterous. Okay. You do not give a fuck about anything. And then to have the balls on top of all of that to bring Chip and Medicaid in for things that they are slashing. Half, maybe for now. What happens when the big, beautiful bill passes? How many people are going to lose that fucking access? How many people are going to lose that access? And you're not protecting kids when we reject factual science that says that this stuff saves kids' lives.
Right. I have the pro statements from actual accredited sources too on the same article from like the Trevor Project and some other, I think, doctors and attorney generals.
Yeah.
Gender affirming care is a life-saving care, said by Dr. Jamila Parrott, an OB/GYN and the CEO of Physicians for Reproductive Health. Today's proposed rules are a deliberate and targeted attack on transgender youth, their families, and the clinicians committed to providing patients the care they need. This is a lose-lose situation where lives are inevitably on the line. They choose to target this group because they know it's marginalized and they hate anything that's different than them. And it's just a direct attack on these people once again.
Yeah.
These people are just trying to exist, to try to get the care and support that they need, that everybody else should get from their healthcare system.
Yeah. 100%. It should already be that way. I
Right.
like this last piece of this guy's statement. Rodrigo Hang Lathian, Senior Vice President of Public Engagement Campaigns at the Trevor Project, says personal medical decisions ought to be made between patients, their doctors, and their families, not through a one-size-fits-all mandate from the federal government. That should be your answer on abortion, on trans
Right.
issues, on everything. On everything.
Especially when they're making these uneducated proposals too. Like you're obviously just doing this because you don't like this group. You're not doing it because there's research-based data and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just ill-willed the whole way through.
100%. Flies in the face of science.
Right. Like this one, this president would rather target young people than lower cost or expand access to healthcare. It's
Reprehensible.
Reprehensible. Got you.
reprehensible that our federal government is intent on hurting and isolating the adolescents it is supported to protect. They don't want to protect kids. The only time they protect kids is when it's in the womb because they like to tell women what to do with their bodies. The only time they actually like to protect kids is when they're telling someone else how to do it.
Yeah, and even then, they don't give a fuck enough to like make sure that person has health care to deal with the
Right.
pregnancy.
They'll still make them have stillbirths and everything else. They don't give a shit about the kids or the youth of this country, else they would have better plans for education systems as well. They actually don't give a shit about kids at all.
No,
They're not the family party.
no, they're not. They're not just. I mean, it kind of just. It's like everything else. It's if you cared about these things, then universal health care.
They only care about if you're an upper white class nuclear family who happens to be white. That's when they'll care about you.
Truth.
For now.
For now.
For now.
For now. Ain't that the truth? Until I can
This
find.
will this will all but outlaw any sort of operations.
Mhm.
It'll all but make them illegal, essentially.
Right.
Because them saying that you can't do it through Medicaid and Medicare or whatever, like the government's not willing to pay for that. Cool, that's fine. If you would like to do it independently, fantastic. But however, they're also saying that if you are a hospital offering these services, we also will not pay you Medicaid or Medicare. And there's
Right.
not a hospital in the country that's going to stop taking Medicaid or Medicare payments in order to continue doing that. There's not one in the country.
No, nobody's got that kind of fucking. Not a chance.
No way. For such a small percentage of the community across the entire country,
Mhm.
there's no way that a hospital would profit. There's no way.
And they act like this is like a new fad. This shit has been around since the Egyptians. And like, I think it's Gila, India and stuff. Like these people have been around forever, existing with us throughout history. This is not some new age liberal bullshit that they're stopping.
No.
These are people's lives that they're messing with.
Yep. Uh,
Again, they've weaponized it.
They
The
weaponized,
Republican
right?
Party has weaponized it.
Weaponized it.
yep. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene has
Brown.
been Marjorie said, oh, I'm sorry.
Marjorie traitor greed.
Marjorie Trader Brown. Do I have it?
Yes.
Okay. She also turned traitor on the America First Party already. She said that she would never again support money going to Israel, but she traded her vote on the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, for a chance to stick it to trans kids and people who might try to help them. So a bill that has little to no chance of passing the Senate passed the House with help from three Democrats uh, to criminalize gender transition treatment for minors, to criminalize doctors, hospitals, whatever. Um, Her statements are shitty, and I won't read them. Um, and I'm not going to talk about any of that other stuff either. But I am looking to I don't know. What I'm looking to say here is that these are also people who purport to be about personal liberty and will cry if somebody tells them that it is in the public health interest that they need to wear a mask, a seatbelt, or whatever, or a helmet when they ride their bike. Uh, but they have no problem telling other people's parents whose kids are going through something how they should raise their kids. Strangers they don't know, from states they'll never visit, people they'll never meet. And that's so important to them that they feel they need federal legislation to stop it.
Right.
It's out of control. Sarah Jacobs, or not Sarah Jacobs, I'm sorry, Sarah McBride, the trans representative in Congress, she said that Republicans spend more time thinking about trans people than trans people do. We talked about doing this segment, I thought about going to Right Wing Watch, and if you just look at like there, they'll post like the immense number of MAGAs daily who get caught up in child sex rings, rape, uh, all these things, violence, sexual violence, and they always screenshot their social media posts, and you will inevitably find anti-trans, anti-drag, anti-queer stuff in their profile, accusing them of doing the things that they're doing. So it's just not only are they not they're a party that actively harms children. I've said it before. It does seem like they live to make kids' lives harder.
You just simply need to convince them, these people, that there's just someone lower than them and they'll punch down forever.
Yeah.
As long as they're above somebody, they got no problem punching down at them.
They also pulled some grants. Dr. Oz was out there complaining about how much money it costs to make a penis. Um, just weird shit, man.
They're funny. And you've been debunked and called out on so many fucking things. Dr. Oz is a scam. It's like Dr. Phil.
I think
Get the
Dr.
fuck out
Oz
of
is
here.
worse, right?
I think Dr. Oz actually has accreditations. Not like he proves it by his theories, but
You'd never know it.
like what did he do in COVID? He tried to push that one thing that would help prevent it, and it was completely debunked. Like the dude's an idiot. Like you need to stop listening to a daytime TV doctor.
Yeah, these are all the dumbest people.
Because guess what? Your health care should be singled out to you, provided to you, not to a mass of people. It doesn't work the same for everyone.
Like the hepatitis B vaccine. Trump's like, I don't think you should have it. I don't care what you think. Why does
Not
what Trump think have any weight at all? He's an 80-year-old man. I don't care that you think that there's too much liquid in a vaccine for a baby. If that's what the doctor says that the baby needs, that's what the doctor knows. So the doctor says, kids need gender affirming care. It's fine. You got doctors that let you fucking rebuild Christy Noem's face every day.
Those are doctors who went to over like 8 years of schooling to provide that care.
It's right.
You know what I
But
mean? Like these people
this
aren't just like someone you find off the street that are saying, "Yeah, that sounds right." No,
this
this
is
is like actual practice. They studied, they researched, they have actual backings to their conclusions. This is insane to me.
this, this is rich white men just think that they know everything. And
Hmm.
it's a fucking it's an epidemic. Like we talked about in our last segment or our other video about Bill Gates ruining the education system because he was not an expert in everything. Elon Musk, I don't even know what he actually knows. Probably nothing. Maybe Nazi stuff and some. But other than that, like I don't know what they know. But they don't know everything. Trump, just because Trump is allegedly rich doesn't mean that he knows a goddamn thing about hepatitis B, especially how to prevent it and maybe how to catch it. I could see maybe he might have some knowledge there, but I don't fucking know. Speaking of Trump, here's mine. Okay. So yesterday, behind closed doors, because Republicans are spineless cucks, uh, they interviewed Jack Smith about the evidence that he collected about the 2020 election and about the classified documents. Trump sat for 8 hours, pled the fifth 0 times, said that he had enough evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in the grand jury indictments to prove beyond a reasonable doubt before they get to court, before he shows discovery, before he shows his real hand in the grand jury indictments that Donald Trump tried to steal the 2020 election. Donald Trump tried to steal the 2020 election. In any and all other parallel universes, Donald Trump is frog walked out of the White House that day and held without bail until trial can begin. Because that's an insane thing. He literally tried to overturn the will of the people. That is, in my opinion, treasonous. There is no excuse for him to still be president of the United States. On top of that, the classified documents case, same deal, beyond a reasonable doubt. That's an insane standard for a grand jury. Okay. That is trial level stuff that takes months usually and months of witnesses. They have it and they haven't even gotten started. If Donald Trump had gone to trial, he would have ended up telling on himself because that's what he does every time he gets deposed, in my opinion. But this is such a big deal. And the reason it's a turd is because almost nobody is talking about it. Like, this is crazy. Crazy, guys. You shouldn't
This
be.
is this is sorry. This is
No,
stuff that they don't want to bring to light. This is
no.
stuff that they try and make a dead issue.
Yep. They made a big deal out of this guy. They defame him all the time, talk about what a piece of shit he is and how he made everything up. And he's like, here, I will show you the whole thing. I will throw it on the table and let you inspect it. And they said, sure, but like, we're not gonna let the public see. And they're not saying anything. All we've got is a transcript. He said, I made my decisions in the investigation without regard to President Trump's political association, activities, beliefs, or candidacy in the 2024 presidential election. We took actions based on what the facts and the law required, the very lesson I learned very early in my career as a prosecutor. He also said that, well, he also said uh, that oh my God, what else did he say? He said that he would have brought it regardless of what party the president was, Democrat, Republican, did not make a difference, and that his decision was not based on any bias, but on the facts. Donald Trump is the reason that these cases were brought and no other reason. Like, as a special counsel, he was not there to find a crime. He was there to investigate evidence, and he found evidence. He brought these charges because the evidence was there. So, on all counts, this guy should not be the president of the United States, in my opinion. Should have never happened. He should have never been able to run. It's crazy.
It really is crazy that he's our president. I it's like unfathomable that he's the president sometimes when I think about it. Like, how the fuck did we get here?
Surrounded by the stupidest people, like we just said.
How did we get here and how is it still going? Is my problem.
That's my point.
Yeah, like how did we get here and why is it still happening?
We can't even get a goddamn impeachment vote, like
Mhm.
unanimous.
Oh,
You gotta be fucking kidding me. All right. Yeah. It's not a lot of meat on those bones that we haven't already heard, but there is some new evidence. And just like Donald Trump's first phone call to Georgia, this one is also, or first perfect phone call, I should say. This phone call is also to Georgia. Um, I don't know if this one is also perfect, but it is certainly similar. Uh, and this is audio of Donald Trump talking to the Speaker of the House of Georgia. His name's Ralston.
You do it to uncover fraud. You could say for transparency and to uncover fraud, possible fraud. So who's going to stop you for that? You know, it's like
A federal judge, possibly.
You think?
Yeah, well, Mr. President.
Who's going to stop you, said? Who's going to stop you?
that's fucking insane.
And he still said he's probably golfing tomorrow. You know what I mean?
It's insane. It was like very apparent, and then this election just seemed weird as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we have audio recordings of the president attempting to change the outcome of an election. We have audio recordings of it, and the people are just like, yeah, well, gas is down 6 cents over a year.
Jeez. Changed my life. I know that's for sure. All right, Brad. Are you sufficiently wound up?
I'm wound up, dude.
Let's hear it.
So I told my buddy Crocker I was going to do this, so I'm going to get the timestamp for this so I can tell him, because yesterday we were talking back and forth during Trump's speech. We were texting back and forth during Trump's talk, and
Sure.
he was kind of on board with Trump a little bit. He didn't vote for Trump, but like, he's like, oh, maybe this is going to be good, or this is going to be blah, blah, blah. And then now he's just like, Trump's a vile human being. I can't believe this man's our president. And I agree. And he was up there, ranting and raving about how great everything is. And my buddy was like, he makes it sound good. And I was like, yeah, well, it's really bad. Like, the things that he's gloating about are not really truly good for the economy. The economy is in terrible shape. We know this by the highest unemployment numbers since COVID, since a global pandemic. We have not seen unemployment this high since the global pandemic. And now, Jake, could you show this chart? Because we're just going to get straight into the bullshit.
Yeah. This shit's wild. It's all lies, is what it's.
Yeah. So if you can see that we're referring to inflation, and we're going to show you that for the last October, November, they only charted 3 things. They stopped all other items and just, I guess, assumed zeros or didn't take them in at all. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Either
Zeros.
way, yeah, okay. And then this is how they calculated inflation. It's very clear to see what is happening. The numbers are a lie, and the market responded to this today when they realized that the inflation number was not what he said it was. Essentially, the market pumped this morning. It was going crazy. We were about to touch a new all-time high in the Dow. The market was going up this morning pretty heavily, and by the end of the day, the Dow had gone up less than 0.25%, which on great inflation news in comparison to what we expected, that's what the market would do. That makes perfect sense. However, when you basically realize that it's just a false number at this point, it's not. It's all just bullshit. It's lies. They're just flat out lying to us. Donald Trump flat out lied to us yesterday when he said tariff money was being used to send warrior dividends to our troops
Yep.
when it was already allocated money in the budget. It was already allocated money. He just lied right to our faces about it. The money was, we already talked about it, and on the previous episode, it was allocated for housing for soldiers. It was already planned to be dispersed, and Donald Trump decided to say tariffs are the reason, which is a lie, as you know, because we are still accumulating debt faster than any time in history.
Yeah. I think here's probably a pretty good time to point out that, like, despite what he says about ending income tax, all the revenue, $200 billion has been raised, which is not nothing by tariffs, right? At the cost of us. That's not going to cover any of it. It doesn't even cover the tax cuts. It doesn't cover a percentage of the tax cuts they gave to billionaires in the big beautiful bill, let alone more tax cuts and or dividends or anything else. We have the debt calculator, Brad, is nearing 3 trillion already, just for the 12 months that Donald Trump has been in office. Sorry to interrupt, but I just felt like those numbers were relevant.
It's all right. The debt is just climbing like crazy. And old school real Republicans, you authentic ones before this MAGA movement shit, y'all should be furious about the debt because y'all are the ones who are like, tighten the purse strings. We got to buckle down. Let's get our fucking lives together. And now they're just like, dude, we're going crazy, dude. We're going nuts with the deficit. We don't care. It's all made up anyway. But old school Republicans should be furious about this. And then he has Donald Trump preached that illegal immigrants are the reason that housing is expensive. That's what they're saying. For anybody I know that's ever purchased a home or attempted to purchase a home or attempted to take out a loan or attempted to get a credit card or attempted to, I don't know, get a cell phone, you need a valid social security number to do so. You cannot do that as an illegal immigrant because you wouldn't have a valid social security card.
Mm-hmm.
However, companies like BlackRock do have the ability to purchase these homes by the hundreds. That's why the housing market is so inflated. And it continues to inflate. And then Donald Trump has the audacity to tell us that he's made houses mortgage payments lower than ever before. I lowered the interest rate so good. I lowered the interest rate so much. Here's the problem, Donnie.
Tell him.
The $200,000 house that you're about to buy was worth $150,000 a year ago and $100,000 4 years ago. So you are getting less house regardless of the interest rate because the housing market continues to inflate because we let companies like BlackRock continue to buy single family homes. That's why it's fucked.
Out of curiosity, Brad, when do interest rates fall? When the economy is good?
When the economy is shit. Interest rates go down because they want people to borrow money.
Yes.
That's what they want.
Big companies borrow money. BlackRock, to your point, bought houses and then buys houses and then sells them to themselves to show profit. So they not only do they hoard the houses to accumulate, but they also sell houses to themselves as well. Unbelievable stuff.
And then to say oh man, that there are 0 undocumented immigrants crossing the border. That is a statistical anomaly, literally impossible. There are people on TikTok making jokes about getting deported and then coming back before the week is over. Like, thanks for the vacation, Don. Made it back to work on Monday. Like, it's a statistical anomaly that there would be 0 people crossing the border. The only way they'd be able to keep track of this number ever is if everyone was coming in through ports of entry to seek asylum. Like, these people that they are trying to criminalize, these numbers that they are counting are people that tried to come into the country and seek asylum, or tried to come into the country and get temporary citizenship, or get their visa or their green card, or whatever they needed to do to be contributing members of society. And he makes them out to be the worst of the worst. Him talking about how they all are murderers and gang members and they come from state asylums is crazy to me, because he doesn't understand that when they say seeking asylum, that they're not referring to insane asylums. Unfortunately, our president does not know that. So he just says the word asylum and he's like, those fucking crazies.
The other thing that never gets brought up that needs to be brought up is that net negative migration is a bad thing. Objectively, really bad thing. If you look at countries with net negative migration, there are places like Venezuela and places like Haiti. Like, these are places that people are leaving en masse because things are wretched. The fact that people aren't trying to come here in mass is a bad thing. The fact that people were trying to come here in mass actually propped up the economy. There are so many sectors that need jobs, farms, restaurants, hotels. Without these people coming across, and on top of that, it's also stalled travel. People don't come across. People don't want to travel here if they're brown or black either, because God for fucking bid, A, they're probably on a banned list, and B, even if they're not, they don't want to come over here and be fucking harassed. So it's not a good thing. Nobody ever makes the like, negative migration is not a good thing. A border that processes people properly is a good thing, but a border that just outright stops anyone from coming in is not a good thing for anyone.
It's not. It's like it just seems so simple. I don't believe that these imaginary lines define people, so I don't even really understand what the whole. I don't get it anyway.
Yeah,
But
the other
it's
thing
not
is,
whatever. That's not even the point.
mm-mm.
However, also in regards to the economy, this administration ended the freeze on student loan payments. It has taken the better part of the year for things like that to affect credit scores, to show up on credit. There's over $1 trillion, almost $2 trillion in student loan debt, correct?
Yep.
So excuse me, you're essentially taking this money out of the economy for these people to pay back their loans. So over X amount of time, you remove that money from the economy. But also the people that aren't paying it back because they're struggling to pay their bills, because everything is more expensive, energy is more expensive, everything is more expensive. Things are not getting cheaper no matter what they tell you on TV. 6 cents a gallon is not worth what is happening to our country. I promise you it's not. I swear to you it is not worth it. 6 cents. If you could have showed me $1.99 gas by the end of the year, I'd have said, wow, he made a move. But unfortunately, that's not happening, because oil is at $54 a barrel. When oil's at $54 a barrel, oil companies no longer are seeing the profits that they were seeing, because they'd like to see it $65, or they're not going to turn a profit. So, only minimal billions in the oil industry. So what they'll start doing is they'll start laying off workers. People will start getting laid off. Gas prices were never going to come down like this. And until you invest in alternative energy, there's no reason for them to ever make it go down.
Yeah.
Until they have a competitor, why would they?
No, there is none.
Like, oil is a monopoly in itself. Like, there can be different companies, but oil itself is a monopoly.
It's why capitalism needs safeguards, socialism safeguards to prevent these things from happening because the natural course of vertical integration and profit motive, sheer profit motive, is monopoly. And then once the monopoly is there, there's no reason, there's no competition, and there's no reason. There's not a free market. Like free market, period, capitalism, not free market capitalism. Like it's not, they're not one thing.
Right.
Capitalism is not a free market. Capitalism is big fish get bigger. That's it.
But before that little tangent where I went off about everything being expensive, what I was saying is people can't pay back these loans and it's showing up on their credit. So now the houses that Donald Trump has made more affordable by lowering the interest rates aren't obtainable because their credit score is ruined.
Good point.
That's what's actually happening. So the market is still the exact same because housing is too expensive. Again, because we allow private corporations to buy single family homes and jack the prices.
Yeah.
The economy is not good. No one can tell me because 90% of the market is controlled by 10% of the people that the economy is good. Like, yeah, we get it. Stocks are pumping. We understand. I understand it. I see it. It's happening. It was at 36 at one point this year and the Dow's at 48.
Yep.
It is, that's huge. That's a 33% increase this year. That's good. That's arguably good.
If a large chunk of your money comes from the market, then you're in good shape.
You are. However, if you are working a 9 to 5 and the only time you're planning on relying on the market is at the time you retire, it's not good for you.
No, it's very bad.
It is not good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. We can go on. I mean, the thing that this is the last thing I'll say because we got to move on. But like the last thing I'll say is that we can do this for days. There are terrible indicators everywhere. I like to say, a depression. That's my opinion. We're already there, and we keep finding little anomalies, like the fact that they're just not putting numbers into Excel sheets where they belong. Yeah, I mean it's bad. It's really bad. I know it's bad because my life has gotten significantly more difficult to finance in 11 months, like significantly. It's crazy. So. Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
All right, let's take a break. We are not sponsored by anyone. So we do need your help to stay afloat. We need your likes, your subscribes. We need help pushed into the algorithm. If you'd like to pay for a subscription on Substack, that's also very helpful. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Buy a t-shirt at derealizationnation.com. But one place that will never be sponsored by is Starbucks. Jake, tell them why.
A girl just got fired because she let a man take a bear cup instead of paying full price because he did not have the money for it for his kid. And then they fired her, not for stealing money, not for selling secrets or anything else, just for offering a little aid to a poor family.
This is the same company that is refusing to negotiate with striking workers who are now on strike with some of their brothers from Amazon. So do not cross the fucking picket line or I will fight you. We'll be back. All right, we're back. I hope you took that time to like and subscribe. We are going to get into the part of the show where we take a look at some TikTok videos, share some of the stuff that comes across our feed during the week. We'll start with one. This one is from Brad. Maybe. Reload.
The realest motherfucker I know is that Ring camera. Every morning I walk out, motion detected. And shit, I already know it, but it's nice to hear every once in a while. Shout out Ring, dog.
It's good to get a little positive reinforcement sometimes.
It is.
It's nice. How sweet. Let's get one from Jake. Me trying to give out hints to my mom for what I want for Christmas.
It would make a perfect gift for Christmas. Just saying.
Perfect gift for Christmas. I love him. I love him.
Just saying.
For Christmas.
For Christmas.
What I'm doing on Saturday.
The 1990 Corolla Cybertruck upgrade, guys.
My brother, this one is Cyber Corolla. You see? Cybertruck engine, Corolla maintenance. As you can see, it is Corolla, but in Cybertruck body. This car can charge with candle lights. You will love it.
Charged with candlelight. Oh, my God.
You will love it.
It's less ugly than the original.
And it's Toyota, so it's way more dependable.
Fred Flintstone and standstill traffic going uphill. You just don't think about that.
Right.
It's tough out there. God. Let's see. Back to Jake.
Dominique, Nique, Nique, sempre alegre, esperando alguém que possa amar. O seu príncipe encantado, seu eterno namorado que não cansa de esperar.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know, but he's like,
Chick-fil-A. I'm hoping a Chick-fil-A.
that was not a living, breathing cow.
I don't think so. It's pretty stiff.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah, I
pretty-
thought it had just given up. Like, well, let the Lord take me where He will. Let the Lord take me where He will.
Well, now I kind of hope it was. Peek inside the mega church doing charity work. I hate them. I hate them so much.
What are they doing?
Jesus Christ. Could you imagine being like, yeah, I need to give them some money. They look like they need it.
They're hurt.
They're really hurting, guys. You don't even know. All right, back
I knew
to-
she was fucked up when I could Venmo to tithe. I was out.
for sure.
Tell me
Would you like to set up automatic payments?
out.
All right, back to Brad.
It is 3:18 p.m. and it's somehow starting to get dark already. And then I go on my phone and a website asks me if it's okay if they collect cookies. I don't care if I live or die.
Oh my God. That's too perfect. All right. One more for Jake. My day is ruined before 10 a.m. because I saw straights kissing in public.
Oh, girl, it's
Yeah, keep your fucking heterosexual propaganda out of my fucking life. How about that one?
Sorry. Yeah, I told Jake earlier I was running inside to kiss my wife and he about quit the podcast. Absolutely not.
Oh, shit. Well, I'll tell you what. People who still support Trump, despite everything that's transpired, sound like this.
See, Charlie, these liberals are trying to assassinate my character. And I can't change their mind. I won't change my mind because I don't have to, because I'm an American. I won't change my mind on anything, regardless of the facts that are set out before me. I'm dug in, and I'll never change.
Oh, yeah. Just keep that in mind when you're out there talking to fucking some bot from India. They're American, and they will never change. All right. All right, Jake, you start us off. Tell us what's good.
This Friday is Friends Christmas, and then hanging out with my mama on Saturday, and me and my friend Megan have planned a readathon. So if you don't know what a readathon is, it's where we have all of our books that we haven't read yet, and we bring them, and we spend as long as we can just sitting and reading the whole time.
I like
I'm
that.
hoping to at least complete 2. My goal is 2. 3 would be amazing, but I think I can do 2 for sure.
It's cool. I've never heard of that before. I personally only have one day off, and it's Saturday. So I'm going to be heavy on the relaxing, doing the nothingness at the most. I can't wait to just like vegetate on the couch. Uh, Maybe read a book, but probably not anything quite that fucking mindful, to be honest with you. The Cavaliers suck right now. It's hard to watch. I fucking hate it. Uh, the Buckeyes, you know, coming up. We gotta wait because, corporate bullshit. But, there'll be some football on. Other than that, you know, just really like leaning into the relaxed thing.
Are they starting to like Goldfish, Jiffy Lube, Long John Silver's bowls yet? Are they doing those to start this weekend?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
What?
They're just like the most ridiculous. They're just like, anybody want to sponsor a bowl game and we'll make it feel important?
Right. And then like
So
nobody shows
anybody
up,
can
so it's like
sponsor.
people from the band end up playing. It's like it's dumb. They're just dumb.
It's so yeah, these bowl games mean nothing, but you know,
They used to mean everything to these kids. Now they mean literally less than nothing.
yeah,
They're
kids
just
are like, oh, I have an opportunity to go to the league. Yeah, I'll be sitting this out.
right. Oh, I could be at home with my family in the warmth. I think I'll be okay. I don't need a concussion today. Thanks. Or your fucking trophy made of chicken wings. Brad, tell us what's good.
Hmm. I am 8 hours away from a 2-week vacation.
Damn.
Yeah. Pretty pumped up about that. Pretty excited. Plan to plug in the Super Nintendo.
Ooh. What's the first game you're gonna blow the dust out of?
Probably because it'll be the wife and I thing, Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Okay.
good one. That's a legendary one, actually.
Yeah.
Mine would be Harvest Moon 64.
Oh, well, this is Super Nintendo, not that fancy Nintendo 64 crap with
Well, you said Nintendo 64, if I'm not.
No,
Go
no,
back to
What's
his.
that Super Nintendo?
no, it was Super Nintendo.
Yeah, 2D.
Some of the best games are linear.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God. I love a linear game. I'm also terrible at video games, so it helps me.
Yeah. The wife and I were oh yeah, I know. We played a lot of football together.
Hey, listen, I won a lot of football. Basketball too.
That's not really video games, though.
No, that's not, it doesn't count.
That's not really video game.
It's
Yeah,
more
that's
about
true.
yeah, it's a different animal altogether.
They do most of the work for you there.
But yeah,
Do
so I
you
think
know?
we're gonna break that out of a break because the wife has the week between Christmas and New Year's off, which she never has. So
Sick.
they're gonna hang out and play some video games, and you know, I think the kids' sports shut down for 2 weeks, which is sick
Yeah.
because man, it's a lot.
Yeah. I'm getting some time off after Christmas too. So if you guys got like a recommendation that, Jake and I can play on the same console with two controllers, like
Which they don't do anymore.
which they really just don't do. Leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And you know, we'll see you on the other side. We'll be back again before Christmas. So we'll hold off on saying happy holidays or happy Festivus or whatever the fuck. But enjoy the season as much as you can. Uh, and until next time, like, subscribe, check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Threads. Thanks for being part of the nation. We are the Punk Rock Garage Band of Podcast here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. Go out, buy a t-shirt, derealizationnation.com. Help us out with a paid subscription on Substack if you can. But all our stuff is and always will be free. Until next time, I'm John.
Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
The files come out tomorrow. Christmas come early.